Good evening and welcome to Lid Bashing, where the L stands for Legions, the I stands for Imperialis, and the Tabashing stands for Kit Bashing. I've got today's new Dark Mechanicum releases, and they are the first Dark Mechanicum releases for any game system, which is very exciting. I didn't bother with the Thanatos because I've already opened those with the big box. So here are the new models released today. I've also got a little knight that I've been working on, so we can compare the 100% sizes on the back to a knight, just so we can see how big they sort of are. Should we start with the big ones or the small ones? Let's start with the small ones and build up to the big ones. So here are the Dark Mechanicum Stalker Constructs. I hardly know a constructs. There are 30 miniatures. It's a little bit misleading because there's not 30 of these. There's 2 of these, 2 of those, 2 of another type, and then lots and lots of these little ones at the bottom. But that's all right. The little ones at the bottom are very, very nice, and I've got some ideas of how to use them. So here's the sizing on the back. Let me try and get them nice and clear, so they're not reflecting this horrible light. Right, so they're a little bit smaller than I was expecting. So they are significantly smaller than a Cerastus Knight, probably about the height of a... I'll just throw him on the floor. Probably about the height of a Questoris Knight. All about the same. These ones, these butchers, are very, very wide though. I like that they all look very different. I was worried that they'd look too similar on the table, but no, they look very, very different, which is nice. There's no suggestion of colour. That's interesting. Usually they say, oh, these are the paints that would be best, but there is none. Maybe just because it's black and gold, they thought not worth putting it on there, but they usually like, oh, use Dark Reaper and certain burnished goldy type whatevers, and they've not done that, which is interesting. I wonder if that's the same with the other one. Especially because there's so many good Dark Mechanicum's Sarum colours. I'm going for the Tagma Sarum, which is the closest to kind of loyalist Mechanicum colours, because I haven't got much that's that colour in this scale. So yeah, I'll be painting them quite to traditional Mechanicum, red and iron and bronze. So it comes with 2 of the Archer, the ranged version, 2 of the Butcher, the close combat version, 2 of the Cyclops, the HQ version. Interestingly, these ones you can take as individual units, so you can max out your activations just taking 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, whereas the bigger ones you have to take in at least 2s, which is interesting. I don't know why that worked out, whether it's a balancing thing or just teams not talking to each other, but that seems strange. Ooh, is that a new Games Workshop logo? I think it is. They've just gone very neat text. None of the classic chunky Warhammer 40k style text. Interesting. They're going Web 2.0. Oh, that's disappointing. That these have come just loose. I suppose it's better for the environment, not having them in a little plastic bag. Is this the... Ooh. This might be... go away, this. This is that meme with the Simpsons Lisa Vegetarian meme with the lamb and the cute lamb. This one. Out the way. This one. This is, I think, the first Mechanicum transfers. Is it also the instructions? The instructions must be in here too. That's funny. How strange. Is this like when they did the... Oh, I was doing so well. I got distracted talking to you. Is this like when they did the Everchosen in Age of Sigmar? And because they did the Everchosen in Age of Sigmar... Oh, no transfers. I thought there were transfers in this one. Must be the other one. Yeah, when they did the Everchosen in Age of Sigmar, all the transfers came in fancy envelopes. Or is it just because it comes with these for Adeptus Titanicus? I seem especially rambly today. I'm very sorry. I'll try and be funnier. Eric's Stalker banner, brother of Bruce, Stalker banner. So yeah, I really should play Adeptus Titanicus. I've got all the stuff, I've got the rules, I've got the various ones of these. It just looks a little bit complicated, and I'm but a simple human. I will learn. So, instructions in a fancy little envelope, but still, just instructions. Annoyingly, recommends 3 swarmers per base. I'll probably just be doing 2 because I'll want a lot of these for the swarmer host. It looks like a very fun formation and a very silly formation. I think I found a location I can hold this which doesn't have horrible shadows all over it. So yeah, here are the instructions. Looks fairly good. Oh, you can choose between exoplanar cannon, scintillax lascutter, or storm laser, but they seem small enough that you could probably get away with proxying if you want to give them a go rather than worrying about magnetizing for something so small. Especially so for this Maxima bolters versus Erex lascutters versus Erex melter gun. I like all these tentacles. Something very nautical about it. I like them. Right. As much as I adore these bases, it is a shame now we're getting more units that use the bigger sizes. That they're all still the same design. We've got a couple of designs for the 40mm. A couple of designs for the 32s. The 50s and 60s. Disappointing. I've been putting blobs of texture paint on them just to mix and match them. This is not finished based, but because I did the texture paint and then waited for it to dry. So you can mix and match them a bit using some texture paint just to give them some variety. And of course you can mount them in different orientations. But it is a shame that we've only got the one design. Hopefully they'll add some more soon. And then, unfortunately, if they were going to give them these little paper envelopes, why couldn't they put these in a paper envelope? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's supposed to be 8, weren't there? It's not in there. It's not in there. Is it still hiding in here? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I do have 8. I must have just missed one. My fault for trying to be festive with a snowy background. Okay. 8 of the nice bases we always like. And let's have a look at the sprues. So even though they're quite chunky models, they are quite small on the sprue and quite fiddly, so you might have to be careful, particularly with all these little arms. You might have to be careful when you snip them off. I don't think there's any chance this could be a just twist them off type model. You're definitely going to need some clippers and clean up. I think that's okay though. I think that's part of the hobby. I'm not someone who will complain about, you know, models needing extra modelling when the whole point of the hobby is to model. So yeah, it looks like it'll be a nice tricky kit to build. Which is nice. I like tricky kits. But if you don't like tricky kits, maybe seek what other options there are. Right, I'm going to jump straight to this one. Because, aha, there we go. Dark Mechanicum Constructs transfer sheet. I wonder why we didn't get this in the other one. Maybe they didn't think they were big enough to need them. In any case, let's see how fun this is. Size of these ones, again, compared to those, this is 100%. And there we go. Now the light's not in the way. About the same height as a knight. Just a little bit shorter, but a bit wider. Making sense of the 60 bases. Let's see how they look inside. In theory, me talking through opening the box is supposed to mean I don't have to edit this down so much, but I dare say some of it I'm going to think there's no point in me including that, so I'll edit it out anyway. However, I'll leave this in because otherwise you won't know what I'm talking about. So, the big Stalkers. Let's see how these are. Are we going to get some nice envelope again? Yep, nice envelope. Again, disappointingly, the same 60mm base 4 times. I wonder if the 60mm bases are actually 60 in this game, or whether they're the weird 65 that Games Workshop have always called 60. It's a shame I've put away all my bases for Christmas and they're out in the garage, so I won't be able to check. Oh, interesting. I wonder. I could probably check using the joys of maths. So 25, 50. And then, yeah, a little over half, so I think they are 65 still. Interesting. Games Workshop once got sort of in trouble for calling the 65 60 in all their official writing, because when they sent off to their Chinese companies to make the textured bases, because the textured stuff and sceneries, that's not done in the UK, that's done in China. They send out for export for those, but they sent them the measurements of 60, and so they came back 60, which therefore meant a whole bunch of the bases were a non-legal, inverted commas, size for gaming. I think you can still get some of them on the site because they didn't sell very well on account of them being the wrong size. So there's that bit. Let's save the transfers to last because they're the bits I'm most excited for, however weird that sounds. So instructions. Simpler instructions than the other one, where essentially you get 2 lots of 2 models. I don't know which is the best option. I'll have to do some math hammering, have a little practice. I might make 2 of each. 2 of the exoplanar bombards, 2 of the storm laser arrays, and mix and match into the units. I know they have similar ranges, so that's not the end of the world. Because bear in mind, although these are as big as knights, they're not knights, and they're certainly not titans, so they're not going to be doing any kind of splitting fire unless you've got point defense and skyfire you can shenanigans with. Interesting. I wonder what rules these use, whether they'll use kind of knight equivalent rules, or whether they need an errata FAQ extra little supplement to explain how to use the Dark Mechanicum walkers in games of Adeptus Titanicus. Again, quite fiddly bits, less fiddly than the smaller ones, which makes sense. Still quite fiddly bits. So again, I would not recommend just twisting these out. I reckon spend the extra bit of time using clippers, using a scalpel, getting these all nice and clean, and ending up with some really nice, sexy models. In many respects, although, you know, I'm all about the epic scale right now, for those of you who are mostly 28mm Horus Heresy, there must be a little part of you that goes, well, these are in plastic, they've got the CADs now, all they need to do is stretch them up, add some extra details, and you're going to get plastic 28mm Dark Mechanicum very soon, I expect. Fun. I'll have to build those and paint them up and get them on the channel. Exciting. But this is the big bit. Drum roll. Of course it's upside down. Dark Mechanicum Constructs transfer sheet. These are some nice little bits. I'll have to get quite close. I think I put the macro camera on. I did. Good. So yeah, in whites and in blacks, we've got tiny Mechanicum logos, tiny Dark Mechanicum logos, tiny cogs, tiny Gothic writing, tiny triangle. I think these are usually on knights, but it makes sense that they're on the walkers as well. All of these different shapes and banners, and tiny random symbols, just to make your armies look a little bit sexier. These are very, very nice. I'm going to have a lovely time using those. I do like transfers. Nice. I'm glad we finally got them. I think they should include these in every Mechanicum. Anything larger than infantry, to be honest, the same way they do with the Astartes and Auxilia kits. There's no reason they can't include this in, for example, the Kryos tanks, the Krachnos tanks, the Trioros carriers. Include these, please. It says Dark Mechanicum Constructs. But, you know, it's not just Dark Mechanicum, is it? Those are regular Mechanicum logos. And this is the Overlord Heavy Stalkers box. The actual Constructs box didn't have this in. So put this in more boxes. I want lots and lots of these. I don't just want one. Please, Games Workshop, give me as many Mechanicum transfers as you can find it in your Christmassy little heart to give us. So that's today's fun releases. All except one, which is the scenery, the tiles, the raised plateaus. I have ordered those, but obviously they had come direct from Games Workshop, so they didn't have quite the same reliability as HLS models, where I got the stuff I can get sent separately. But I'm sure they'll arrive soon, and as soon as they do, I'll do a little unboxing and might even give them a quick paint, or at least one of them a quick paint, to see how easy they are to get going. Ooh, pardon me. So this won't be the last video before Christmas because, you know, I'm on Christmas holidays now, so I might finally be able to edit the 2 kit patches that I've got sitting in my video files and get them out. And of course I probably should do another Christmas video because you all liked the last one so much. I think it's about time we find out what Santa's been up to in the years since his wife so unceremoniously left him. So, anyone who hasn't seen last Christmas video, that will make no sense. But I kind of like that. I think that's funnier. Right then, so thank you for tuning in. Pretty much the same speed as these always are. They always seem to be about 17 minutes when unedited, and then I trim off any unnecessary fat, which will be the complete opposite of what I'm doing this Christmas and my own body. So I hope you all have a similarly gluttonous Christmas, to the extent that you feel you should be or shouldn't be. It's up to you. I am not your supervisor. Please do have a wonderful holiday, wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year, wonderful whatever you're celebrating this time of year. Lots of lovely things going on, lots of lovely food, lots of lovely family, and yeah, I think that's probably about it. I will see you before then, but anyone who doesn't watch the videos between now and then, have a very, very, very Merry Christmas, and I will see you all very, very soon. As always, but especially during this time of year, peace and love. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to all of my patrons who will be appearing on screen somewhere. And, of course, keep on lip bashing.